All right, today we are looking at something called special right triangles. So we're still looking at how to find the side length of a triangle, but these triangles have specific angle measures. So today we are just looking at a 45, 45, 90 triangle. So this is a triangle that has two 45-degree angles and one 90-degree angle. So this rule that we're going to learn works for every single triangle that has two 45 degrees and one 90 degree. So whatever the length is on this side will be the same on the other. So this is across from that 45-degree angle. Those two sides are going to be the same. And then across from the 90 degree, it's going to be whatever this side length is times the square root of 2. So this is what the picture will need to remember as we look at these different examples, because we'll be going through the same process of the two legs are the same number, and then our hypotenuse is going to be that number times the square root of 2. So if it helps you think about A, B, and C, A and B will be the same, and then C will be whatever the side length is times the square root of 2. So let's look at an example. Let's put some numbers on this. So in example number 1, we can see here is our 45-degree angle. So that means this will also be 45 degrees. And here is our 90 degree. So in our example, we learned that if this side is 8 across from that 45, then the other side across from 45 would also be 8. And then across from our 90 degree, we're going to have that side length of 8 times the square root of 2. And that's it. You're done. So when we fill in these blanks, we're looking E to D. So if we're looking from E to D, here's E all the way to D. We found that that side is 8. And then if we're looking from D to F, so here's D, go up to F, we found that that was 8 square root of 2. And that's all we have to do. All right, on example 2, my picture's hiding the 2, but this is example 2. Here is 145 degree, so that means this will also be 45 degrees. And then here is our 90 degrees. So if we look, we have this 15 square root of 2, which is across from our 90 degree. If we look back at the top where we first talked about our rules, across from our 90 degree is x times the square root of 2. So if I line that up with this example, if I write x square root of 2, I can see that my x lines up with 15. So that means across from the 45, I want 15. Across from 45, I want 15. Because that 15 is x. So when I go to fill in the blanks, I want to look for N to E. So from N over to E, we had 15. And then we want E to W. So from E down to W, we have another 15. So those are a little more straightforward of, here's x, plug it in. Here's this, pull out x. Our next ones are going to be a little bit, have a little bit more involved. So if we look at example 3, first I want to find my 45-degree angle. So here's my other 45-degree angle, and here is my 90-degree angle. So if I look, this 7 square root of 2 is across from 45 degrees. So across from my other 45 degrees, I will also have 7 square root of 2. So now across from my 90 degrees, this is where I want x times the square root of 2. And x is this whole part. So I'm going to take this whole thing and plug it in with that square root of 2. So I'm going to have 7 square root of 2 for the x, and then square root of 2 for the square root of 2. So to make this a little simpler, I can go to my calculator and I can type in 7 square root of 2 over to the side so it gets out, square root of 2. So now this matches what I've written down. When we press enter, we'll get that that equals 14. So here I want this final side length to be 14. So again, that x is the whole 7 square root of 2, 7 square root of 2. So our final answer for this side length is this 14. So when we fill in our blanks, first we want B to C. So B all the way over to C is that 7 square root of 2. And then I want A to C. So here's A down to C, which that final answer was 14. All right, we're going to look at one more example. So I'm going to start by seeing here's 45, so that means this is 45, and then 90 degrees is in the corner. So when I look, 22 is across from 90 degrees. So this is going to be the trickiest one. So this 22 is equal to the whole x square root of 2. So I need to take this to find out what is just the x. Because that 22 is equal to whatever x is times the square root of 2. So to get x by itself, I want to divide by the square root of 2. 22 divided by the square root of 2. So again, I can put this in my calculator. I can type in 22 divided by second square root of 2. And when I press enter, I'll get this number here, 15.55. So when I work this out, I find that x equals 15.5. So for my x, I want my x to always be across from the 45 degrees. So here I see 45 degrees, so across from that, I'm going to put x, which we now know equals 15.5. And 45, across from that, I'm going to put x, which we know equals 15.5. So as I go to fill in these blanks, again, I want j to k. So here's j, and I go down to k. That's the 15.5. And then I want k over to l. When I look at k over to l, that's that same 15.5. All right, if you have any questions, please ask me or Miss B, and go ahead and try the practice that is in Google Classroom.